remercier ma collègue d'Argenteuil, Papineau-Mirabel, pour son discours qui était très humain. Et elle nous a rappelé, en fait, qu'à cause des systèmes des pensionnats qui ont fait subir de graves préjudices au peuple des Premières Nations, plusieurs personnes des Premières Nations n'ont plus accès à la culture, dont la langue. Et la preuve, c'est que maintenant, il ne resterait probablement que 3 langues qui pourraient se perpétuer. Et dans mon comté, il y a la réserve d'Aquastasné qui est Quach, et justement, il y a plusieurs personnes qui retravaillent sur le système d'éducation pour redonner la chance aux gens d'avoir accès à la culture. Donc, comment un partenariat, comment un leadership fort du gouvernement pourrait aider ces gens-là, grâce à une motion comme la motion d'aujourd'hui, à se réapproprier leur propre culture et à rayonner au sein de leur communauté économiquement, mais socialement aussi.
Honorable Deputy Argento Papineau-Mirabel.
Thank my colleague for the excellent question. In fact, the NDP promises to invest in improvements to education and training for First Nations in pursuit of the goal of educational attainment for Aboriginal people comparable to that of others in Canada. An NDP government would also remove the punitive 2% funding cap and end current funding inequalities, beginning with education and child and family services. An NDP government would forge a nation-to-nation partnership, which is necessary, and build a relationship based on mutual respect that recognizes the rights of Indigenous peoples, including the right to establish and control their educational systems in a manner appropriate to their cultural methods of teaching and learning and working with the Assembly of First Nations.
Questions et commentaires. The Honourable Member for Newmarket, Parliamentary Secretary of the Minister of International Cooperation.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I know we're speaking about formal education here today, but we know that education takes place in many, many different venues. When I was in Wainwright 2 years ago with the Canadian Parliamentary Military Program, there was a program being offered for Aboriginal students to participate on base in Wainwright. It was being put on by the Canadian Forces. 125 Aboriginal people from across, young people from across the country in a program that was called Bold Eagle. These young people, I attended the graduation ceremony, as did members from the opposite side of the House, and we were very, very impressed with the quality of young people who were there and the things that they had learned. And I wonder if the member could comment on those kinds of partnerships that we are trying to generate throughout this country.
Reste que 30 secondes pour l'honorable député d'Argento Papineau-Mirabel.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The reality is that, First Nations education is a responsibility of the federal government, and there's currently a significant gap in outcomes between First Nations students and non-First Nations students. Far few First Nations students complete high school, and only 41% of First Nations living on reserve who are older than 15 have a high school diploma, compared to 77% of Canadians. This isn't a complicated thing that needs to be done. What is required is a political will, the will to really cooperate and consult with First Nations and to follow that up with adequate investments, which is truly the strongest shortcoming of this government.
Resuming debate.